Good afternoon and welcome to Finance Fridays. As always, we are having technical difficulties, but we're going to keep going and make it do what it do. Today, we have Miss Chauncey Hightower from Lindustry. Hey, Miss Chauncey.
How you doing? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Almost done with it. I am
Mhm.
very excited for this conversation because I think that it is very necessary. The conversation of sometimes no means not right now. And I know when we had talked about this before, we kind of really delved into what sometimes no means not right now is. So can you kind of give us the origin of where that came from? First, introduce yourself. Tell us what you do at Lindustry, and then let's start with the origin of what sometimes no means not right now is.
So my name is Chauncey Hightower, and I currently work at Lindustry. It's a minority-led company, and what we do here at Lindustry is we help small business owners in their communities to get funding, get money, get capital. And I'm a VP relationship manager, and basically what I do is I manage portfolios and I manage the application process for our applicants and our borrowers and partners.
What does that mean? You manage portfolio? Say that again. What?
So I have a portfolio of partners, and they have applicants that apply for loans, and so I manage that process. I manage the process from start to finish. I am the one that's saying, "Hey, we need to move this loan. What's going on? Has the borrower submitted the documents? Okay, we have the documents in. What is the underwriter doing? What can I do to help move this loan to the next stages?" So I do a lot of that stuff too, along with a lot of events, just getting out in the public to educate people on FICO.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure we're going to learn a lot about that today. So let's talk about it. Sometimes no means not right now. Let's talk about that. What does that mean?
So just because you get a no today, not right now, just because we say no today, that doesn't mean that maybe 2 weeks from now you can get approved for a loan. No is not a hard no when you're applying for any financial assistance. It's just when we tell people no, we actually provide them with, we educate them on why we said no, hoping and trying to give them the tools and hoping that they're going to utilize the tools that we here at Lindustry gives them to help them apply the next time, which could be 30, 45 days from now, to get an actual approval for any of our loan products.
That is awesome. And it looks like we got Miss Clarissa on the line. Yes, we got.
Hello. So
Yay!
sorry
Welcome to
about
the
that. I had
party.
to move over to my cell phone, so I
It's
do
okay.
apologize about the delay there.
It's okay. I said today is Finance Friday, but it should be called Technical Difficulties Friday. This should be like Technical Difficulties Week because it's just been a pull to just get everything working. But I'm so glad you're here. We were just starting and talking about the loan process and the approvals or denials and how sometimes no means not right now. So I'm just catching you up. But do you want to tell us what you do at Lindustry and kind of just jump into our conversation with us?
Yeah, and
Before
absolutely. So,
Clarissa starts, I'm going to tell you that Clarissa is the application queen. Let me tell you, she is the one that receives the applications and she takes the deep dives. So Clarissa is somebody that you really, really want to listen to. She has all the tips and tricks and all the cheat sheets, and she's here to give us the answers today.
Good. I need answers.
exactly. Yeah. So I'm a business development specialist here at Lendistry. I'm on our specialty team, actually. So I tend to work pretty much every program that is not SBA. So the State Small Business Credit Initiative, I do work with those programs, our contractor financing, some airport concessionaires. So as Shansay mentioned, I'm a processor. So once you complete your application, I'm going to be the person that's picking up your file and getting really down deep into it. As a processor and being that we are a lender, a cash flow lender, we're really focusing on the financials, not just of the company, but also on the owner as well. We always try to look at it as a whole. Now, with that said, when we first start looking at applications and we go from the beginning of starting to process them, we're initially looking for those big hard stops. So things like multiple bankruptcies. If there was more than, if there was a bankruptcy within the last 5 years, is the FICO 640 or higher? Right now, our minimum is 640, or we can even go as low as 600 with certain programs. Anything below that, unfortunately, we would have to pause with. Are there the 2 years time in business? Are there the tax returns to support those years? And then the various documents as well, too. We're going to look at the credit report. Are there any collections, any charge-off, things that aren't settled, anything that maybe we might get a letter of explanation from? Same thing as well. We're going to pull some reports to do that same thing. Is there anything there on the background of the company? Any liens that we should be aware of? Any unpaid tax liabilities that we should be aware of? Those types of things are the main red flags that we're going to be looking for when we first grab that file and start dishing it out to see which program is going to be most beneficial for this client.
So basically, you guys are looking to see where this is the character. Is this the character part?
It's all of it, actually. It's, we're doing that full roundabout of the whole file. So we are looking at those C's of credit. We're looking at the credit. We're looking at the character. We're looking at the types of income and the debt to the business, the management in the business, or do we have all of the owners on the application? A lot of times we'll see that there's one owner and they have 50% ownership. Well, where are the other owners at? Because they also matter, and it's important to have them on this application too.
Okay. Because at the end of the day, you guys need to know all of this because you need to determine how you're going to get your money back.
Correct. And, the goal too, especially for Lendistry, when we first pick up your file, we want to make sure that when we send that file over to credit and to underwriting, where they're going to finalize everything and get you funded, we don't want any holdups there. So that's why we are going to dig our claws really deep into your application. We want you to be, we want them to be very transparent with us, so that way we can tackle a lot of those things up front and not waste their time at all. But also too, when they go over in underwriting, the last thing we want is for these little things to come up that are going to delay the underwriting process or delay the funding or even kill the deal in general. We want to be upfront with that, just like we want you guys to be upfront with us.
Awesome. So let's talk about that process. How long does it take from start to finish for someone to be approved for a loan revolving line of credit? Like I know you guys have a bunch of different products. So what is the typical approval process? Can you walk me through from the time I submit my application to how long it takes for you to get it, to how long it takes for you or whoever on your team to review it? Are you the underwriter, or is that another step in the process? What happens after that?
Yeah, so once you complete the application, it'll usually go to a business development manager first. So from there, they're going to verify, okay, is this going to be someone that's coming in with interest on our SBA program? Or if they're wanting to apply for that program, then we're going to send it on over to that team. If you're in a state, say that we offer the small business credit initiative in, then that'll most likely come to my team. And then that's usually brought to our desk within about 24 hours from you completing the application. Usually from then another 24 hours for that business development manager to just get it, take a look at it himself to see again where is this company located at, and then they'll push it over to my desk. So usually I'll be getting the file within about 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. From there, I will be able to do my full review within about 24 hours itself. And then I'll be reaching out to you either via phone to touch base and introduce myself, or there'll be a follow-up email detailing any questions that I have, any additional documents that I find that are missing or need to be corrected. And then from there, I'm actually gonna give you a deadline to provide everything by. As a lender, especially in California, we have our own compliance to stay in line with. And so part of that compliance is being able to get you as the borrower an answer within a certain period of time. So usually within about 72 hours from you completing the application, it'll be sent over to my desk. I'll review it. I'll be reaching out to you, providing everything that we need. And then I'll usually ask for a deadline within about 5 business days to provide everything that's pending or requested. So that way I can run my cash flow analysis and get you that answer within about a week if we can do something or not.
So that's about 9 days.
So we're looking, well, yeah. So we're looking at about like 7 business days, I would say. So yeah, I would go, yeah, touch upon into the next week, and then and that's where I usually say, the best thing to do is when you start an application, have in mind, or at least have a good majority of your documents already ready. Half the time, and a lot of the time too, when we're right down to that last bit of a deadline time to have all those items in, it really makes things a lot smoother to have them all done up front. So you just have those little couple pieces just to submit afterwards, and we can get you that answer a lot sooner.
Okay. So I
So
didn't hear.
I wanted to say,
Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to say that if you're coming through and your file, your application is squeaky clean, you've uploaded all of your documents, then it's going to be a faster process for you. Now, if we have to go in and do a deep dive, we're finding liens and things are just not making sense to us, that's when the process takes a really long time because we need answers from you.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah. And just having the finances, totally correct. Sometimes that we'll get interims that it's like, this isn't as professionally put together, as detailed as we need. Certain things like that can cause a delay, or they'll be, submitted on an accrual basis, but the business files on a cash basis. So that too, having those things all in line will make things go a lot quicker without having to have extra documents to correct.
Okay. Now, did I hear you say anything about where underwriting comes in at that point where you've gotten the information? So now you've gotten everything. 7 business days, the borrower has been able to, or the applicant, I'm sorry, has been able to get you the things that you've asked for. They're really good. They're on top of it. So now you've got a full package. Now what happens?
So now once I have the full package, I can run our cash flow analysis, and based on that, which is going to encompass everything that you've provided, I'll be able to play around with the numbers and see what amounts we can do, what loan amounts we might be able to do. And then from there, I'm going to present you with those options. If we only have the one option, then I'm going to issue that offer letter, and that offer letter is going to be detailing everything in there, from the loan amount to the interest rate to the state program we're going to be able to utilize, and then the next steps on moving into underwriting from there, which accepting an offer, there's typically a good faith deposit. Most programs, we have a good faith deposit, which varies from $500 to $1,000. So to accept the offer, you'll be signing that offer letter, and then you'll be paying that good faith deposit. Once that's received, you'll move over into underwriting. I usually say give us about 24 hours to move you into underwriting from when you pay the good faith deposit. And then an underwriter is assigned within about 72 hours from there. And within that time, they're going to be reviewing the application, doing their analysis. They'll also have a packager involved as well. And they'll be kind of picking up where I left off for any additional items, like pulling transcripts, any additional items the underwriter might need. Underwriting, I will say, time-wise, is typically about 30 days. We aim for the whole process to be under 30 days when possible, but some deals, some requests do have a few more moving parts to them than normal. Sometimes there is a little bit of a couple-day delay on having the state program approve the funds and then having us actually fund it. So there's a couple of those things that will come into play that can add a couple days here or there, give or take. But otherwise, we aim to have everything processed and funded within about 5 weeks.
I love that you said that, because I find that in dealing with our clients, like, it's really important to be able to manage expectations. Usually when someone's applying for a loan, or they're even considering trying to get a loan, they need the money right now. Not
exactly.
You know what I mean? And so to be able to manage those expectations and say, oh, hold on, it's going to be at least 5 weeks. So pump your brakes and sit tight and just get us what we need.
Exactly.
So and I want you to touch on our smart scoring technology, that program. I want you to talk about that program too.
Yes, I was just going to say, now that's our standard underwriting process. So if you're going for just a standard SBA 7A loan, pretty much and when I say standard, I would say any requests that are over 500,000 or higher, those are going to be the ones where it's going to be about that 5-week process, because we're doing the full cash flow analysis and the full underwriting. Now, we do have a new model that's coming out. The cool thing about Lendistry is since we are fintech, we are able to utilize some of that new AI that's coming out. And that's what we have done with our new scored products. So what they are is it's just like that. It's scored. There's different criteria to meet as they're going through that same standard application. So these are for the applicants that have that 700 plus FICO, that have the over 2 years time in business, that indicate on the application that their business was cash flow positive in the prior filed year. So little things like that can actually spit out an immediate offer. And if they do get that immediate offer, that's actually something that can be funded within about a week.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's a really cool option because, it's not necessarily going through like our state guarantee program, but it's an internal offer. And then there is one that is loosely linked to the SBA as well too. Now, these are going to be hard offers. So whereas with our standard option, there can be a little bit of negotiation, a little back and forth. These are going to be hard offers. So there's usually going to be 2 offers that they'll get. One will be a 5-year and one will be a 10-year term. The 10-year term would fall under that SBA scored option. The other one would fall under one of our more internal micro options, but they'll at least have options there. And so this is going to be really good for those clients that maybe they just need about $50,000, $70,000, get some good working capital, float payroll. That's where this is going to come in. They're going to get that a lot quicker. They're going to be rewarded for the higher credit, having positive cash flow, and then we won't have to go through that a little bit more of an extensive period where we're going to be doing a strong underwrite. It's a what did they call it? It's like an expedited memo that the underwriter will execute.
I was just going to say, so does it remove the underwriter from the process?
Not entirely. No, they're still going to be having their fingers in it and doing there you go. It's an abbreviated memo as they're referring to it. So it's meant to be very condensed so we can get this money out to them a lot quicker. So if you do have those clients that, have 700 plus FICO, your company's been doing good at least the last year, showing positive cash flow, that could be a really good option for those clients that need only around the, $25,000, $50,000, $70,000.
Right. And for that program, the credit score is actually starting at 680, but the better your credit score is going to be, the better chances you have as
correct. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
Wow. I'm learning a lot today. I do study. So I did, read the documents, but it's just it's different when you can actually talk to someone and be able to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I have a client right now that I sent to you guys, and they're looking for a loan revolving line of credit for their business. For clients who don't necessarily want a traditional loan, but they're looking for more of something that acts as a credit card or something that they can use and pay off and use and pay off. What would your advice be for them?
So Lendistry is ever changing, ever growing, I would say. I know we're working on certain things that are going to be a little bit more on a revolving basis. Right now, anything that's non-revolving, we don't offer any lines of credit. Let me just be upfront about that. We do have some non-revolving line of credit options, which come in the form of contractor financing, which is my program, baby, one that I personally like to work a lot. And then we do offer a standard non-revolving line of credit. We really mostly offer that one for construction, and that would be construction under, I would say, under 100,000. With that, though, it's a little bit different because the qualifications are a bit stronger. There's equity injection that's required. It is specific to it being construction. I'm so sorry about that.
You got coworkers at home. It's okay.
Yeah, so it is a little bit more specific as far as any like revolving lines of credit to it being more around construction at this current time. But that's where, if they need something that's a little bit smaller, that even 25, 50,000, that's where that express option is going to come into play as well.
But that's for construction or contractors, right?
Correct. Yeah. Nothing currently right now. That's just for like your general day-to-day working capital. It would currently be our express options. Or if you're an Amazon seller, we also have Amazon loans that you can apply for there. And that one's an expedited option as well. It goes through that scored path, and it's based off your Amazon seller's account. So if there's anybody that, operates that way, that's also another quick option to get the working capital you need.
Okay, that's good information. I have a million questions, but I want to stay on this topic. Let's talk about FICO scores for a minute. What is a FICO score? Why do you use a FICO score to determine, I don't know, is it determining credit worthiness? That's the first thing that you look at. And what should our clients who are looking to get loans know about a FICO score? About increasing it, how long it typically takes to increase it, how to maintain it. I know the answer is going to be you pay your bills on time, but what else? What I mean, that's obvious, but I mean, sometimes life be lifing, and so what advice would you have in that area?
So, for credit score, the way we kind of look at it, and that's why we put a lot of weight on it with our scored option, is the idea is if you have a 680, 700, especially in the 700s credit score, you're going to work a lot harder to maintain that. It takes a long time to get yourself to that point. It takes a lot of hard work and diligence on your end to get yourself to that kind of score. So the idea is that there's going to be a lot more effort and concerted effort to be able to make sure that that score is maintained, and that any debt that you have is dealt with on a timely manner. So as far as with the FICO, we understand that things definitely happen, especially in different industries. Sometimes you're utilizing a little bit more credit here than other industries. But with a credit score, we want to make sure that you're not getting repeated credit and putting yourself in a way, or at least in a position where it's going to make it more difficult for you to pay back those loans. So we're going to be looking at certain things like, are there any open collections that haven't been taken care of? Are there any charge-offs that still need to be settled? Those types of things. It's not that we don't allow it. We totally understand those things happen, but they need to be on a payment plan. They need to be either paid off or on a payment plan, so we know that you're taking care of it. If we know that you're taking care of it, then okay, then that's fine. You're on a payment plan. What can we say? Things happen. A lot of times for some things that maybe it was past due at one point, maybe like a home payment that was past due at one point. Sometimes things just happen. You forget. It's not set up on an automatic, pay schedule. That's totally fine. As long as it's current, we're just going to ask for a letter of explanation. What happened there? How did you correct it? How are you going to ensure that it's not going to happen again? So we are definitely open and willing to be super flexible, so long as you're taking care of those things. We want to see that those things are on a payment plan. We want to see that you're at least working hard to keep that 640 or higher. Being that things have been, a little bit more, I guess a little bit more challenging over the last few years for people and for households. That's why we also like to utilize that state small business credit initiative, because they allow us to be more flexible by way of allowing a minimum of a 600 FICO. So if you're in those states that offer that, we can even be a little bit more flexible and go a bit lower. Again, you want to have your collections and your charge-offs on a payment plan or settled. We want to have that letter of explanation, but otherwise it's still a green light for us.
That's awesome. So Lendistry is a CDFI. Tell us what the difference is between a CDFI and a traditional bank.
Well, a CDFI, we're a non-depository, so we're not sitting there necessarily driving our funds from our bankers. We're out there, people like Shansay is out there making great connections that's allowing us to access capital that's coming from the federal government, that's coming from the state level, that can even come from the city level with our grants that we still process and offer. So that's where it's going to be really important to, again, still keep taking care of the FICO, still keep taking care of those items.
That is awesome. So we have about 5 more minutes. You are a complete wealth of information, because I wish I had I was thinking, man, I should have had my iPad so I could have been taking all these notes down, but I think I remember a lot of it.
And don't worry about it. You're going to have access to any type of information that you need and any additional meetings that you'd like to schedule. We got you.
Yeah, I definitely gonna schedule a lot more, because I'm pretty sure once we clear up our technical difficulties and people get this information, they're gonna want to know, how do I get in touch with Lindustry, and I'm going to direct you to the BSBA website because you can get in touch with them through us because we are officially a partner, which I'm very excited about our partnership.
Awesome.
I'm very excited about it because I believe in what you guys do. I've been working with you since the pandemic with the California Relief Grant. And what I can say is that Lindustry, the way that Lindustry works is like, my experience hasn't even been sometimes no means not right now, or not right now means get this back to me in 24 hours and no is going to be yes. Like all of the reps that I've worked with, the people, my relationship managers that I've had have worked very diligently to make sure that we've been able to really service our clients and get them what they need in a timely manner. So I just want to give Lindustry and Everett Sands a shout out because what he's put together is just incredible, especially for our community. I don't know if you guys have anything else that you want to share about the loan process, about I don't know, the way you work. If you want to talk about what is Lindustry, what's on the horizon for Lindustry, what's coming up, what's the tea?
Oh boy, Shantae, are you able to speak on that a little bit more? Some of our newer things coming up.
So I'm not able to give away all of our secret sauce right now, but we do have a lot of things in the work. We're working on getting our technology better because we want to make sure that we're processing our loans quickly. We understand that our community, our business owners, they need their money quickly, and so we're just trying to bring in more AI technology along with heartbeats, because we still need heartbeats, actual people working on files. So that's some of the things that we have in the works, just improving on our technology and hearing what the people are saying. We really are interested in hearing what the community is saying and how we can better assist our community, because that's why we're all here today.
I thought it was so awesome. The last time that we spoke with Everett, he was saying that most of the people who apply for loans apply between like 1 a.m. and 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh, I'll be up at those hours sometimes, stressed completely out. It makes total sense. But I know you guys don't have people in the call center that are able to answer questions at 1 a.m., between 1 and 3 a.m. because hopefully people are sleeping so they can be better people during the day when we need them to be. But you may not be able to answer this, but I'm asking anyway. How does the AI technology kind of help with that?
I want to go back to people being up and may need assistance during the vampire hours, I call them, when you're up late at night trying to apply for a loan, which is the best time because nobody's applying, right? And you can get your application done quickly. We have, if you go to our website, BSBA website, they're going to connect you to Lindustry. Under the apply now, we have tips and tricks on applying. We have an application guide that you can click on, and it's a step-by-step guide on how to complete the application process.
Down there. www.bsba-ca.org. Please visit our website and check out what we have coming up. This is so you know that the partnership is actually real and we're not out here playing games. We want to see every business succeed. So with that, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your Friday to join me and to talk about the very important work that you're doing and how these loans and the loan process works so that our community can better understand, and manage their expectations about the process. Do either one of you have anything else you want to add to this conversation before we go off the air?
I do want to say to you, I thank you so much for what you and your team are doing for our community right now. You guys are educating our community. You're just doing so many big things out in the community, and I truly appreciate it. And you really do it with the bottom of your heart. You're just out here with your heart on your sleeve. So I totally appreciate it. And there's no other person that I've came across like you. So I just want to say, keep going, keep pushing. You're great, and anything that you need from me and my team, I'm here to support you.
That's okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm gonna call you in about 10 minutes because I got a lot to say. Miss Clarissa.
Yeah, and I just want to leave everyone, anyone that's planning on applying with just one last little tip. Definitely understand your finances. Take the time to really understand them, and make sure that they accurately really represent your business properly. A lot of times I get clients that come in and they feel like their company is doing really great, but on the tax returns, it's showing that they're a negative net profit, or they're trying to avoid paying as much taxes as possible, which is great. But definitely set yourself up and your business up for success by having them accurately represent the company, so we can give you that really proper analysis and hopefully get you moving on forward.
Oh, I want to touch on that too, because a lot of people utilize a CPA. So know what your CPA is doing. You
Mhm.
have to be in the know. You just can't let anyone take over your financials and not know what's going on, because that
Mhm.
can lead you in a world of trouble. So make sure that you're actually looking at your own tax returns.
Mhm.
And before you sign off on anything, make sure that it looks good to you. If you have any questions, you need to make sure that they're answering them for you, because we're seeing a lot of people come our way and they're just like, I didn't know that was there. How can I get around this? And it's just taking a long time for us to get applicants through, because they don't understand why their tax returns look the way that they do.
Mhm.
That's
Yep.
really good. That's what we've been telling everybody is like, make sure that you have the right people that are surrounding you. If you don't have a resource that has the connections that you need so that your business can be successful, you definitely need BSBA. If you do have the connections that you need, BSBA needs you, because, we want to make sure that we're helping everybody, and that's what it's about, is just, leaning on each other. If I don't know a guy, I know Shansay, and Shansay knows a guy. And if she don't know a guy, she knows Clarissa. And Clarissa definitely sounds like she knows all the guys. So, let's make sure that we utilize each other, lean on each other, and, build up these strong businesses one business at a time. With that,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for joining me today. And we are going to give you back the rest of your Friday. Have a good one.
Thank you.